In a world where sports have stretched beyond the fabric of reality and podcasts became as common as potholes, there were two guys in Morgantown, West Virginia who desired to do something different. These two guys came up with an idea to bring real life back to the arena of sports and hopefully be somewhat entertaining along the way. These two guys are certainly no experts, and they're definitely not comedians. They just think they are. This is the Extra Medium Podcast, and here are those two guys.
And here we go. Welcome, everyone, to Season 2, Episode 12 of the Extra Medium Sports Podcast. We are just two plus-size guys living in an extra medium world. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Justin Jackson, sports editor of the Dominion Post.
And I'm Matt Amory, former WVU lineman and state champion at Morgantown High.
We are also joined in studio by Michael Griffith,
the legend
of the Dominion Post. And in just a little bit, we will have a special guest in Morgantown High girls basketball coach John Folks, who has one heck of a story to tell about perseverance with what he and the Mohegans have experienced this season.
And it is now officially March. We are in March season. Thank goodness. Hopefully that means some nice weather rolling around. And that also means it's basketball tourney time, baby. Regional tournaments are underway around the state, and the boys and girls state tournaments in Charleston are just around the corner. Also, don't forget about the number 15th ranked WVU women's basketball team. They begin playing the Big 12 tournament this week with an opportunity for the Mountaineers to state their case in being one of the 16 hosts for a regional tournament and for the NCAA regional tournament, which I would love to see. I hope it happens.
Matt, you also know what March means, don't you?
What's that? What else could
spring football?
Hey, spring football in the building.
Spring football begins later this month. Rich Rodriguez and the Mountaineers will begin spring practice later in March. The April Gold Blue game.
Gold Blue.
They haven't announced the exact date in April yet for the annual spring game. But Matt, I'm guessing you've got a good story to tell about spring football.
I got a couple of good stories. I got a lot of good stories to tell. I think only a few of them are appropriate for the air. But yeah, I got some.
Narrow them down, and
we'll narrow them down.
We will discuss all of that and more. But first, Matt, let's tell the good people who sponsors our show.
Well, absolutely. The Extra Medium Sports Podcast is brought to you by the Hotel Morgan. Whether you're interested in hosting a sophisticated corporate retreat, a joyful baby shower, or a spectacular wedding reception, Hotel Morgan provides a backdrop steeped in nearly a century of Morgantown's history, reimagined with boutique comfort and 1920s era charm. We take pride in making every event a memorable and stylish experience.
And Matt, where can you find our podcast?
I'm glad you asked, my friend. You can always find a link to the Extra Medium Sports Podcast at www.dominionpost.com or find us on social media at Spotify and YouTube.
We are now joined by Michael Griffith here in the studio. We will be getting to Morgantown High girls basketball coach John Folks here in just a second. But first, guys, I want to kind of get back to what we were discussing. We had a great discussion last week on NIL.
Yes.
And, we kind of went into all the rules and regulations and what it means. And we certainly talked about Kaylee Kellogg's situation. She is the star player at Morgantown High.
Making history.
Yes.
Making history.
And the deal that she signed, the NIL deal that she signed with Vision Homes. What's kind of been on my mind all week, though, since that podcast last week, we didn't really get to discuss all the different types of NIL opportunities that are out there for West Virginia high school athletes now. And I kind of quickly want to get into that today. If
we should.
So obviously, like last week, we talked about Kaylee Kellogg. She signed an extended deal with Vision Homes. And we talked about, would that open doors for other athletes, the roles that companies can play in, helping West Virginia high school athletes. There are other types of NIL deals, though, and this is kind of what I want to get into. And we bring in Michael Griffith here, and I'm going to use Michael here as an example here, so to speak. Michael,
do we just make this check straight out to you, or do we?
I'll take it. Yeah.
I'm just throwing Michael out there.
The legend, man. I would show up.
So, Michael, you do not currently own like any local businesses in Morgantown, grocery store, furniture store, anything like that?
Nope.
Okay, so let's say hypothetically that you did, okay? And there is a star, let's say you lived in Parkersburg, just to throw out a city. And let's say there is a star athlete at Parkersburg High School, Parkersburg South High School, that you wanted to promote, but you didn't have the means to, sign a NIL extended deal like Kaylee Kellogg. Here's another opportunity for NIL. So Michael, being the furniture store and in the furniture store business, could go up to, John Doe, Jane Doe, whoever the athlete is, and say, hey, why don't you come to my store on Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon, and greet the customers, sign some autographs, and, we'll put an ad out in the paper, and we'll put a sign in our store saying, so-and-so from, you can't, obviously,
Right.
you
Can't say
the
where.
school.
Can't say the institution.
But, come meet so-and-so at our store on Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon. And then, you pay him $200, $300 for his time, whatever. That is legal. That's perfectly legal. And a great way, I think that would be a great way for high school athletes to capture an NIL opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. I didn't really give that a thought.
I mean, that you don't have to sign a deal.
No.
with the kid,
That's a
but
really that's a great thought.
I think it's very doable.
I think it's very
Absolutely.
doable. And what a great way to, raise, put the spotlight on your business while having a local star around.
And if it doesn't work, you just don't do it again.
You just don't do it. I thought I thought the example you were giving, Michael the Legend Griffin, was going to be the star.
Oh, the star.
Because I was like, I'll show up for the autographs. I was going to show. He's the
legend, not the
furniture.
star,
He's
yeah.
the furniture
Right.
owner. Okay.
That's a good thought. I mean, they just opened a new Raising Cane's up there.
They
UTC. They could have had
and
somebody out there.
Also, too, I think with the younger the kids, it depends on the situation. But having a short term, like a one day show up, do the autographs. Let's see how this works, and maybe we'll have a 2-day thing, and then it could develop into a long term.
Yeah.
Long term.
The other, and I think this would be the wider variety NIL kind of opportunity for kids, is the social media aspect. Now, I'm not 100% how this works. I'm going to kind of show how old and stupid I am.
That's I know.
But when it comes to stuff like Twitter and TikTok and YouTube, there is opportunity. For anyone, not just high school athletes, but for anyone to make money. Based on the number of views and likes,
subscriptions,
and
all that.
and they can get paid by YouTube or TikTok or whatever. Now that kind of opportunity is open for everyone. But previously, if a West Virginia high school athlete had earned money off of, say, YouTube, they wouldn't be able to.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That would have been breaking the NCAA.
I was going to say that's how it was with NCAA too. Yeah,
and we were
would
just
have cost them their amateur status.
Got
Yes.
you.
Yes.
There's actually a huge story with a YouTuber now who is absolutely massive. He's a football guy. His name is Destroying.
The kicker.
Yes, and
yes.
he does one-on-ones, and they're viral. He came to West Virginia and did one, and the one-on-one West Virginia video is his most viewed video ever. This guy has like 20 million subscribers on YouTube. He, before NIL was a thing, his real name is something De La Haye. I can't remember his first name. I apologize, but his YouTube name is Destroying. He was a kicker at Vanderbilt, under scholarship, and doing YouTube at the time, getting paid. He was monetized.
I think I kind of know the story.
Yes.
They took the NCAA took him off the scholarship.
Yes, the NCAA told him he had a choice. He could either quit collecting money from YouTube, or he could stop being a kicker and quit being on scholarship from Vanderbilt. He bet on himself and quit kicking for Vanderbilt, and now he is one of the biggest YouTubers you could ever find in football. He actually kicked in the XFL or whatever, UFL, I forget, one of those leagues. He was with like the Brahma team in Texas. Did okay. He had actually a really bad neck injury on a kick return.
Yes.
He was a kicker, obviously, so he did the kickoff, but he delivered a hit and had a really bad neck injury that put him out for a while. But anyway, that's just the story of him. Like, that was only 2017.
Which is nuts. It seems like that would have been 30 years ago.
That's my biggest example of like
ago.
what Justin was just saying is like, you couldn't even. I was telling Matt earlier, you couldn't even buy a cheesesteak.
You couldn't even buy a cheesesteak. Hey, where'd you get these donuts?
Where'd you get that? And then now we have WVU players flexing their Mercedes outside the practice facility on Instagram.
That is a nice ride, though.
So, now, also on the social media, it obviously doesn't have to just be athletes posting about athletic stuff.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Say they have a part-time job at the hospital.
Yes.
And they want to start making posts about what it's like working at the hospital. They go viral. obviously that has nothing to do with athletics, but they can now get paid by YouTube or whatever the social media situation may be, and they can take that check and go straight to the bank and cash it, and then they can play for the Mohegans or the Hawks or the Seabees the very next night. They don't have to worry about losing their amateur status.
I mean, think about Jimmy Gregg, for example. The university punter is at Syracuse now. I mean, some of his TikToks, he has like 10,000 likes, tens of thousands of likes on these things, and just of him kicking the ball and other stuff and that comes from where he is, his platform, number one punter in the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maddox Twig has an opportunity he could do with his social media right now.
Yeah.
So what Justin says is a really good point about all that. I mean,
heck, even throwing maybe an ad or something at the end of one of those TikToks.
Put the hashtag on it.
Yeah, to put a hashtag. Hey, we'll give you 200 G's to put this hashtag. I know the money's not going to be like that.
Here's a free box of crumble cookies.
Yeah, you had me at free cookies, man.
Now, the one social media thing that I think would be interesting, and this is kind of like where Maddox Twig might be able to come into play, and I'll make some money for Maddox here.
Yeah.
I'll throw some ideas.
Okay.
Maddox, if you're listening, here's a great idea for you. So he obviously is going to be having, in the years to come, days to come, weeks to come, whatever the case may be, he's going to go on recruiting visits.
Yes.
Whether they're unofficial, official, so on and so forth. He's going to go out and visit other schools in terms of looking for where he's going to play college football. He could record those. Right? I mean, you got you got your phone, and you could record the interactions with the coaches, with other recruits that you meet, where you go out and have dinner that night. And then, you could take all that material and post it on, whatever, TikTok and YouTube. Give people a kind of a behind-the-scenes look at something that a lot of people would probably want a behind-the-scenes look at. The whole recruiting process. Yeah. He could put it on social media. Maybe it goes viral. Maybe he makes a bunch of money out of it. I mean, that would definitely be something I'd be interested in.
Honor Huff actually does a lot of YouTube prior to WVU. I don't know if he still does it a lot, but Honor Huff was a big vlogger, if you will, YouTube guy. I see him and Amir Jenkins actually still post stuff now together. They're pretty good friends. But yeah, there absolutely is a market for that.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you're a college athlete.
Exactly.
People just want to see the day of life. I mean, it doesn't even matter what sport you really play.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
You could be a D1 soccer player. You could be a rifle. Someone wants to watch that.
This is behind the scenes.
It's cool.
I think they're only bound by their own creativity.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I have another idea for Maddox Twig.
What do you got?
So you remember last year these big old windstorms knocking down trees and all that? What about what is a company that gets those? What's your nickname for Maddox Twig? Was it like
Oak? The Oak. He's the Oak. Yeah.
Twig, it's kind of a funny thing. Whatever it takes to get those big old tree removal or something like that. Did you know now? Please correct me if I'm wrong, but these visits that you take, the institutions actually pay the players to come in for visits.
Boy, I tell you,
can you imagine that?
I think they reimburse.
It would depend on.
I think it's an official visit.
That's okay. Only official. Okay.
And then they reimburse
meals and stuff. Yeah, travel,
travel, things like that. I don't know if they actually just hand them a bag of cash. Well, they might.
That's called the marshal.
Right,
the marshal will get you.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
The other thing, real quick, the other idea I came up with is high school athletes can charge fees for coming on podcasts.
No, that's
don't give them any ideas.
Don't give them any ideas.
We did have Maddox. We did have Maddox Twig on, and
are we going to get a bill in the mail?
Well, we might get a. I want to be very. I want to be very clear. We did not. Maddox Twig did not charge us a fee for coming on the podcast or during football season.
So he truly is a friend of the show.
Right, he's a friend of the show.
Sheesh.
But they could, like, if a local radio station wants them to come on and do an interview, I mean that they could say, hey, pay me $50 or $100 or whatever the going rate is. To be clear, Maddox Twig did not charge us, so we wouldn't be able to afford to pay him.
No, we wouldn't be able to afford to pay him. I got $3.
Because
in there
the hundreds of thousands of dollars we have to pay Matt,
right?
So we've got nothing left in the budget. But those are just some of the NIL deals that I kind of wanted to get it off my mind because I've been thinking about it all
No,
week.
that's wonderful, and I'm sorry I live a high lifestyle, and it requires a lot of hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I need that to survive. But this is awesome. Power to the players. Power to the players, even at this young age. And someone is going, the destroyer, the kicker, I think that's 1 in a million, but someone I think here locally soon will do something wonderful on one of these platforms and have more than just a state outreach, but a nationwide outreach to see what's really going on behind the scenes in West Virginia. Like, hey, this is a cool state. There are some cool people. We know what we're doing here, and we can hang with any of these states.
We have to travel 3 hours
we
for a
have to
game.
travel 3 hours for a game. That's a close game. And
right.
There's very small margin of error for when you're in those mountains, but whatnot. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. Okay, it's now time to bring in Morgantown High girls basketball coach John Folks, as Mohegans are currently the number 1 seed in the North region heading into the postseason. Coach, how you doing, and welcome to the podcast.
I'm doing great today. Just at school teaching class.
Coach, as we mentioned earlier, I think you've got one heck of a story this year on just perseverance and what you guys have had to overcome with injuries. And I guess that's kind of maybe where we'll start off. My first question is, you come into the season and you already know that Kaylee Kellogg is going to be out with her knee injury from the summer. And then you get halfway through the season and you lose another star player and Brenna Nelson to another ACL injury. And yet here you guys are as the number 1 seed heading into postseason play in the regional. I guess question number 1 is how did you do it?
Well, when Kaylee tore hers back in June, it was kind of weird. We were playing a really good team from Akron at Cedar Point in a high level recruiting tournament. And Akron, it was about 10-8 when she got hurt, and then we just kind of locked in at that point, and we ended up winning that game by 20. So we kind of carried that through the summer, and we just talked about no excuses, and we're not going to use anything as an excuse. And the kids really bought in. They got in the weight room, had a great summer in the weight room, a great fall in the weight room, and then we just practiced them all hard together and, tried to develop every player in the program. We practice all the kids together. We don't just focus on the starters. We focus on the whole team. So that's kind of helped us going through this season.
Have you ever experienced anything like this before? I mean, I know you used to coach at Trinity with the boys basketball team, and now you've been at Morgantown High. Have you ever experienced anything like this before, where your 2 star players go out, early in the year?
I've never dealt with anything like this before. I was even on Jason White's staff when we three-peated in 14, 15, and 16, and I practice the girls the same way as him. We haven't changed anything. We do preventive stuff in the summer. We lift weights during the fall, during the season, just to prevent injuries. And it's just been, I guess, kind of bad luck or something. But no, I've never dealt with this in my life. And I was even talking to Coach Kellogg about it, and he's never really dealt with having 3 ACL tears in one season. So it's just been one of those years. And there's a lot of things that people are saying, maybe reasons, but I think there needs to be a little bit more research done on these girls and their knees. And it's not just happening to the girls, it's like the kid from BYU did it. The guy from Texas Tech, Coffin, Patrick McHome. So I think it's a little deeper than just Morgantown High girls basketball.
Yeah, that's a really great point. And I know Kaylee's mom has been very outspoken about that on social media and stuff. I was actually just telling Matt and Justin about how she's been an advocate for that this year since Kaylee's really done that. Coach, I just kind of wanted to ask you, man, what is it that you've really seen, as a coach, if you take the outside looking in on your team, what has been the key X factor for them in, I don't even want to really say their response, because you guys didn't really even take a dip. Like after, you lost Brenna and then you beat Parkersburg, who's one of the favorites for the state championship this year. So just what has been the ability of your girls? Like, where has that come from for them to not even skip a beat in your eyes?
I just think it's our culture. We have a really good culture. I teach at the school. I see these kids a lot. They believe in me. I believe in them. I mean, I would run through a wall for them. They would do it for me. So, I mean, that's the kind of thing we have going on. We have a flex period here every day. It's about 45 minutes. And, a lot of kids try to get away from their coach, but every day my room's loaded with all of them. So, I mean, it's one of those special environments for girls basketball. And, I love them, and it's just I don't know, Mike. It's we're starting 2 freshmen, a sophomore and a junior, and a senior who played JV basketball last year.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's just we've just developed the kids, they buy in, they practice hard, and a lot of kids, our kids look forward to practice. If we ever cancel a practice, it's like, oh, coach, why'd you do that? That type thing. So it's just a huge buy-in on the part of the kids and their parents, to be honest. So I mean, we practice them hard, but at the end of the day, it's just it's a great culture, and I love being here with this group.
Right.
And Coach, one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, I know that kind of like midway, three quarters of the way into the season, one of those freshmen for you, Maddie Ansell, really began to kind of step up for you, and I'm kind of wondering, going into the season, did you see this kind of impact from her, or were you expecting any? I mean, if you would have had your regular roster, everyone healthy, would she even had the opportunity to play under those circumstances? And what is she doing now that she is getting the opportunity to play for you?
Well, back in June, she went to her and Ava Clinton went to Cedar Point with us for that big showdown out there in Cedar Point, and they were coming off the bench. They really didn't know what they were doing, and I went and watched those girls play a lot last year as middle school kids against our feeder school South, and I didn't see that ability in her last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw a kid that had some ability. She could shoot a little bit, but she didn't really like to play defense, and in our program, you got to come in and be able to play defense. That's the number one thing we're looking at, is if you can play defense or not. And then, I mean, she bought in, she developed. We've had a lot. I save all my flex practices for the fall. I don't burn them up in the summer. I use maybe 5 or 6 in the summer, and then I save them up for the fall, so we have a little bit of a head start compared to the rest of the state in that aspect. And we just did what we do, and she just kept getting better and better. She was lifting weights, and then one day she looked at me. She goes, "Man, the weight room has made me faster, Coach." I was like, "That's what it does." And she was kind of blown away by that. But she just kept plugging away, practiced really hard, and now she's one of the premier freshmen in the state, if not the best freshman in the state.
I was going to say, isn't that that's a great story, man. Freshmen never play defense, right, Coach? I mean.
Well, we got 2 of them right now that play pretty good defense. I consider Ava Clinton probably the best on-ball defender in the state. So,
wow.
And a lot of other coaches do too. So, I mean, she locks people down and they don't like it.
Yeah.
So she usually gets assigned to the other team's best scorer, unless they're a post player. So, I mean, she's been doing that for us, for the last 2 months. December was a little rough at times, but they just kept growing. And right now, I mean, you want to be playing your best basketball, and that's what we're doing.
Coach, with the adjustments that you guys have had to make with the injuries, did you have to change your philosophies at all, change your style of plays at all this year, or did you just kind of keep the ball rolling as is?
I just kind of kept it the same. I didn't really want to mess things up. That's what they learned over the summer. And then, we don't do anything real complex. We're doing a lot of the things that, college basketball teams do. And we kind of mimic Coach Kellogg's press and his zone defense. I was fortunate enough to be able to learn both of those, and they're a little different compared to your normal 2-2-1 and your normal 2-3. And we are able to do that, and the kids learned it. And, some of these coaches are like, man, that's not a normal 2-3 zone that we're looking at. And I'm like, yeah, it's Mark Kellogg's, and he invented it. So, he kind of, us basketball coaches are pretty good thieves. We steal stuff from everybody, and Coach Kellogg let me steal that from him. So I'm very fortunate in that aspect.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about spending time with Jason White. I was fortunate enough to cover, I think, 1 season, maybe 2 seasons that he coached for the girls before Goody took over, and then ultimately you took over. So just what was it about you've coached under Dave Tallman, you've coached under Jason White, under Doug Goodwin, I mean, all these coaches with you. What is a couple things that you've really held on to maybe in the past decade, 15 years, that you've kind of been absorbing all this stuff from all these people?
Well, I was lucky enough to be around White, and he was really a defensive coach. He loved to play the man-to-man, up-the-line defense, 2 passes away, and your help to helper, all that kind of stuff. And I took that with me to Trinity. They really didn't play that kind of defense over there. And then I think the last 3 years I was at Trinity, we had the number one defensive team in the state, as far as points against. And, then I got to go with Dave, and that was, another defensive focus, but Dave focused a little bit more on offense too. So I was able to bring some of his offensive firepower with me over here to the girls program. So the combination of both coaches' defense and then some of the offense, and then things I've picked up, from Coach Kellogg and stuff like that over the years, and a little bit of hugging stuff. So, I'm just able to kind of throw it all together and form my own thing.
Coach, it sounds like you've got quite a list there of guys you've taken stuff from.
Well, I put that on. And I was fortunate enough to get all those guys to write letters for me when I got this job too, including Coach Eilert. So I've just been really fortunate to be around these great coaches and be on their staffs and be able to meet them and go watch practice. Living in Morgantown kind of gives you that advantage.
So, Coach, regionals are obviously starting for you guys this week, and then in the weeks to come, Charleston will be next up on the docket. What is special about this time of year for you? When we start talking about March, what does that mean for you as a coach?
Oh man, it's like Christmas for us basketball geeks. You look forward to it. I'm not going to lie, you get a couple of days off if you make the state tournament. It's all basketball, no school, so that's kind of enjoyable, something to look forward to. And then while we're down there, most of the the women's tournament or the men's tournament's on, so we'll play basketball and then we'll watch basketball. It's just a big basketball festival in March, and I love it. Usually put on about 10 pounds in March. So,
that's not bad.
Sitting around watching basketball, eating chicken wings and doing those sort of things. But
you can work 10. You can work 10 pounds off. That's fine.
Well, Coach Folks gets energized over there too.
Yeah, I just got a new treadmill the other day, so it's kind of because of March. So.
Well, that means
I broke my other one.
But if you got a new treadmill, that means you could put on 20 pounds. Some wings sound good. It doesn't matter the time of day. It's never too early for some wings.
Absolutely, as long as they're extra crispy. Man.
Yes, sir.
I was just about to ask. We got to get Coach Folks' wing preference. What's your flavor? You dry rub guy?
I was going to ask
you a
him,
sauce
guy?
Yeah.
So we know the crispy. So
what's going
you're
on with
golden
that?
from here on out.
I like the voodoo at Lefty's. The voodoo wings at Lefty's. They're the best, I think, in Morgantown.
Ooh.
I just like that place.
Okay. Coming from a Morgantown native, too.
I love it. Is that a hot take? I don't know. Or that's just fact?
It might just be fact.
That might just be fact. I like your style, Coach.
Coach, I wanted to ask one more thing about this the state tournament. Obviously every year the schedule changes. We go from Tuesday to Saturday, but sometimes, Quad A plays on Tuesday, and then you get some days off. Sometimes you don't. This year, it's set up for Quad A to go 3 days in a row, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If you want to win that title, you got to win 3 and 3. Can you just talk about your approach to that with your team? Obviously, you guys, like you said, you practice hard. I know you guys have played multiple games back-to-back throughout the season already. So just kind of talk to us about your approach going into the week, especially when you know that you're going to have 3 and 3, you're battling some injuries, stuff like that.
Well, it goes back to I think we had a question about the schedule and this team and all that earlier, and I always try to schedule the toughest schedule in the state just to prepare you for max preps. Us in Parkersburg have the toughest schedule in the state in Quad A girls basketball. We played Southern Garrett a couple times. It didn't go well for us, but I think playing a team of that caliber, it gets you ready to go down to Charleston. We played Peters Township. We step outside of our comfort zone a little bit with playing some out-of-state teams. And, when I made the schedule, Kaylee and Brenna were supposed to be a huge part of it. And a lot of people are asking me, why are you playing these back-to-back games with this young group? I was like, well, Kaylee and Brenna were supposed to be a part of this. And everybody's like, yeah, that's right. And then, that's shortchanging these girls because they've taken the schedule and, went 14 and 6 with it. And, I really can't, say anything bad about them with the schedule, but, we've had games where 2 weeks ago we played Friday here against Washington. We went to Nitro on Saturday, took Sunday off, and then we went to Hurricane, and we went 2-1 in that period. So I thought that was a good little preview of what we can do down in Charleston here. And what we're going to do. We're going to take our strength coach with us, who's really good at getting the kids stretched out and stuff. And
awesome.
she's going to, after each game, she's going to 3 games, she's going to stretch them. After games, she's going to stretch them, and then they're going to take, probably take some ice baths and things like that. Our kids really, they're really into the preparation and just keeping themselves healthy. So, young kids aren't typically like that, but we got a good group of kids here.
We are on the line with Morgantown High girls basketball coach John Folks. Coach, I've just got kind of one last question, and it's kind of just a curiosity question. I know you're focused on the postseason this year and the team that you have and the players you have healthy. Have you ever stopped to think, though, that, next year, kick back and Brennan Nelson comes back healthy, and then all the playing time that a lot of the girls got this year that are coming back next year? Have you ever stopped to just think for a second, I'm going to be pretty loaded next year?
All the time.
Love it.
We sit as a staff and talk about next year a lot, and like one of these kids that's playing a lot this year is going to end up coming off the bench.
Yeah, absolutely.
If everything works out the way we think. So, but that's not a bad thing, and they understand that, but they also understand that if they practice hard and earn their playing time of practice, they're going to get the time on the court that they deserve. And I think we've already prepared that schedule next year. We're going to go early December. We're going to go to a She Got game in Washington, D.C., where you find like every major Division I coach in the country there, scouting and watching players. So I think these girls deserve a chance to, showcase their talents out in a venue like that. So we're going to do that early. It might challenge us. We might get a chance to play against some of the, DC Catholic schools that send kids to Duke and so forth. But we're always ready. So, I think they'll rise to it.
That sounds fantastic. Hey, Coach, we want to wish you guys good luck in the region and then the state tournament. And I know you guys have been to the finals last couple of years. Maybe this year is the year, and we appreciate the time and the knowledge and appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Hey, appreciate you guys for having me. It's been awesome.
See you later, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Bye-bye.
Okay, the WVU football team will begin spring drills later this month of March. Matt has already ran into WVU freshman offensive lineman Kevin Brown at Kroger, and that was he was very impressed.
Very impressed. Yes. Very impressed.
WVU also has running back Cam Cook on the roster this year, who led the nation in rushing at Jacksonville State last season. There will be another quarterback battle between Scotty Fox Jr. and Oklahoma transfer Michael Hawkins. All of that we will get into at a later date as spring drills begin. But Matt, I know you have one heck of a spring football story to talk about when you were at WVU.
Oh, yeah.
But first, just to get us into the mood here a little bit for spring football, what does spring football really mean for the players? Do they like it, hate it, enjoy it? Give us the spring mood football.
So spring is an opportunity from a coaching perspective and a player perspective. It's an opportunity to get better, and you do get better. It's going through every one of your techniques with a fine-tooth comb. I mean, you're starting from the very first play, from a zone run to exquisite blitz pickups and all this. But as a player, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
Sure, go ahead.
It's a pain in the ass. It is not fun.
Why?
Because you're not playing to play an opponent. You don't need to be fresh.
Well, half of it's shorts and T-shirts.
Well, yeah. I don't want to say too much, but when you have pre-practice, pre-practice, and let me ask you this, Justin, what is going on with the shorts? And I don't know what is when you are wearing shorts and you have like the helmets, sometimes shorts, helmets, and sometimes you have the shoulder pads, or goodness knows what they have now. Some people are still going full speed. Some people aren't.
Right.
You don't know what the heck's going on. But anyway, that's in season.
Does it feel like football though when it's just like a helmet and then your shorts, T-shirts, and cleats? I guess
it does, but it takes some time to get to that point where it actually feels like football, because you're getting in there and you are working with your technique, but I'm also getting headbutted by guys, and I'm like, I don't know. I remember good old Jason Brooks. He came and headbutted me. This was a freshman. We haven't even made it to spring ball. And I said, okay, big dog wants it
Is this
back.
The story now?
This isn't the story.
Oh,
but
okay.
I put my helmet right in his chest, and that didn't go over too well. But just about from a player perspective, spring ball is very tough.
Right.
From a coaching perspective, you don't really have to keep the guys fresh. There's certain guys that are going to need to be tested, as they should, and spring ball is a little bit a different adventure for everybody, whether you're a starter or, in my case, I'm trying to crack into the traveling lineup to
Right,
where
you're trying
I
to
can't
get into the rotation.
I'm trying to get into the rotation. So you have many opportunities where you can make a name for yourself. One I think very unique opportunity I'm blessed for, although I didn't perform like I would have liked. The very first spring ball we had, and I mean, golly, these just seemed like 3-hour practices. Each period is longer, and we had a practice.
It's still a little cold out there.
It's still a little chilly now,
right.
a little chilly. Sometimes you'll get, if the weather's bad, Coach Raw will say, no, we're going to have this practice
We'll go
tomorrow.
indoors?
Yeah.
Or-
Well, not even we'll go indoors.
Oh, did you guys go indoors a whole
We
lot?
did go indoors.
Okay.
We did go indoors a lot. And let me tell you, that's not all it's cracked up to be when those gators are running around in pre-practice. You get in there like, I don't know if but we had practice at Morgantown High. There was an event happening.
Did you really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
and we had all of our centers dropping like flies. I think it was Zach Dillow was the starter, then Ben Timmons, Justin Williams was injured, and Coach Trickett looks at me. This is a true story. This is at Morgantown High.
Coach Trickett's always looking at you.
I love me, and I love me, Coach Trickett. I don't care. I mean, I love me, Coach Trickett. I can really appreciate him now. But he looked at me. This is at Morgantown High, so like I've totally had a different experience here. He looked at me and he goes, "Damn." I said, "Wait, what?" He goes, "Can you snap it?" I said, "I think I can." He goes, "Just don't make me look like an idiot."
Right.
But he said something else, and I had not played center in high school.
Right.
And I'm learning.
No, you were a guard tackle.
I was a tackle and a defensive end. I'm coming off the edge.
Did you ever play guard? I thought you played guard when you
No,
were young. Okay.
I never played guard. I wasn't athletic enough to pull.
Right,
You need me to
that's
turn a
true,
direction. It's like turning a gosh darn barge or
Yeah,
something.
you're straight run blocking and pass blocking.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
You need me
Okay.
to butt someone's head? I got you. But you learn this, and this is just one of my examples of spring ball. And what it taught me was each quarterback takes the ball a different way. They put their hands right where. That's kind of there was Rasheed Marshall and Danny Embick at the time.
Oh, Danny, right.
And I just remember Coach Trickett said, "Do not." He said, "Amory, I swear, if you break Rasheed's hand, you're going to get us both fired. I can't deal with Rich right now. He's going to get it. I'm already down to 3 people. I don't want to play you." And I'm sitting there like, I don't know if I want to play.
Right.
And this is all happening at Morgantown High, but it was awesome, and Trickett handled it like a boss, like he always do, but it was just full circle, like, holy crap. And let me tell you, it's not like the speed is any slower. You get the college football, you get the West Virginia I mean, these boys are coming off the line hard, and you got a nose guard right slobbering, saying, "Oh, we got some fresh meat. I can't wait to."
The reason why we kind of got into spring football today, because obviously people who follow the show know that we record on Tuesdays. Show comes out every Thursday. But on Tuesday, which would be 2 days ago now, Rich Rodriguez is actually opening up spring practice with his first press conference of the spring on Tuesday, March the 3rd. Our own Spencer Ripchick is out there right now as we speak.
Spence.
How does Coach Rich Rodriguez, he's obviously entering year 2.
Yes.
Year 1 was up and down, more downs than up.
Yes.
What is Rich Rod's take now on year 2? How does he rally the troops? How does he move forward? What are your predictions in that area with Coach Rodriguez, how he handles year 2?
So I think the answer is going to be kind of surprising to some of our listeners and our guests, because it's really going to be the same, other than some areas need improvement. We have to hyper-focus here. We need, let's just say, and this is not the case, I'm just making up a position off my top of my head. Let's say we need a left guard. We need a left guard that's capable of doing this. Without that left guard, we can't move, so we're going to have to get someone. We're going to have to get them mean and grow them in a hurry. But it starts fresh from day one.
Everyone's on a clean slate?
Well,
okay.
If you got something hanging over from a off-season, let's say from a football standpoint, you're on a clean slate, and you're starting from taking your first step as a lineman to hat placement. Receivers, you're running the basic routes. You're learning the basic plays. It's back to focusing on your assignments each play. It's really a one play at a time. Even if you're down by 20, it's one play at a time. So it's more of a mental game at first, but it's coming in there and showing like, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is our mission statement. And you know at work you'll have some kind of yay statement. Let's get us going. You'll have a new one of those. Yay, let's go. I mean, that's what I read, but you get some cool gear.
Yeah.
And it is exciting though, because it really is a time where you grow. I remember playing field goal team, and guys, if you ever have a chance to play to be on the line at a field goal blocking team, don't.
That's the quickest play in sports.
Well, when you're blocking 800 pounds coming at you, I mean, it turned me into a rag doll and throw me. After doing this, after one spring with Coach Trickett, and shout out to Coach Trickett, because I really was not an offensive lineman, especially an interior offensive lineman. I wasn't a guard. I wasn't a non-athlete. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I love my centers. I love my centers and tackles. Guards, we got to make fun of them. But after a spring ball of being with Coach Trickett, getting ran over a million times on special teams on that field goal block, that once we started summer practice, ripping heads on field goal. Mm-hmm. Bring them all. I don't care.
Right.
And if I got ran over, we're going to figure it out. So it was really cool. Then in addition, I got to see how Jeremy Sheffy blocked it. Mm-hmm. I got to see how like a Garen Justice or Travis Garrett or Dan Moses made these blocks. And it's truly an awesome thing. And I always have, is it the gold, blue, or blue gold game? I don't even know what it is anymore.
Gold, blue, gold, either one.
I've grown up with that in Morgantown, and
Did you ever go to a blue gold game, like when you were a kid?
Oh my God, I went to all of them.
Right.
I went to all of them. I mean, that was on the calendar, especially playing. I remember when I was a Suncrest Seal, baby. I wanted to be out. Hey, Coach Nealon, put me in a couple reps.
The Suncrest Seal.
The Suncrest Seals, man.
I gotta hear. I'm dying. I gotta hear the story now before we close out our spring football.
Okay, so I have two of them. I don't know which one I want to do.
Give me the best one for now. We'll save the other one.
This one is okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to say, I don't know if I should. Is this the brawl? Do I do the brawl?
Yeah, do the brawl.
Okay, we'll do the brawl. So we're going to do the brawl. One of the fun things with spring ball is you have the opportunity, regardless of how much playing time you got, to be in a full simulated no huddle off Rich Rodriguez offense, and we're playing our counterparts, also the younger guys or the guys that aren't playing as much and whatnot. And we're out here to make a name for ourselves. We got other coaches coaching. We're all having fun. It's a really good time. I mean, and we're in the middle of the field. There's nobody in the stands, but it's pretty. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. And we come out there, we're blocking, throwing a couple blocks. I was playing center, snapping the ball good. We get the young guys. Coach Trickett, hey, Amory, I need you to get to that linebacker. I said, I got you, Coach. And so we do one of the plays and we're blocking it. I like, one thing is what you want to do is you got to block to the whistle, even a little bit past the whistle. Just don't get caught. And if not, and that gets caught, you get a loaf. Okay. You do not want to loaf because you suffer with loafs. You are running to the point where you can't run anymore. And so I don't want to loaf. So I'm blocking and I'm pushing. I don't even remember who it was. It was the linebacker. And I'm pushing. The whistle blew. I gave him another one and rolled him. And he did one of the rolls, like the backward roll. I go back because we're in a no huddle.
Right, you go back. Right.
And I look and I start hearing. So he thought someone else pushed him. So he went and pushed one of my linemen in the back.
Okay.
And I'm like, I start kind of laughing. One of the other guys pushed my lineman.
One shove turns to two.
Turns to two. And boy, I tell you what, Mr. Justin Jackson.
Did it break out?
It broke out. Everybody was going. And I said, you know what?
Like Roadhouse.
This is Roadhouse. I mean, and everybody was going. I had never seen such a thing in my life.
Now, did you partake in the...
Can I tell you what I did? I decided I was going to jump on the pile. And back then, it's a very bad idea to jump on the pile. Back then, I could.
Well, you had ups back in the day.
Now you're going to have trouble getting a piece of paper under my feet if I jump. I jumped, somehow got clipped in the air, So my landing point, which was the big thing of bodies,
Would you land on your back or what?
I landed on my back, rolled
on the pile.
on the pile, on the bottom of the pile somehow, and the guys keep pushing me around. They're like, "He's the one who started it," and I'm sitting there like, I thought for a second I might die here.
Right.
I have so many people on me, and that was the first time where I was like, "Holy crap!"
Now
this was intense.
Now, I mean, God, that's a great thing. Here's my question: do the coaches let it go, or do they come in and like eventually break it up? Or
I'm gonna be honest with you, it didn't matter what they wanted
Right.
because it was such.
It's just
They
a brawl.
eventually got it,
It's
but
just a brawl,
it was one
yeah.
of the. Oh, this is fun. Let's have them have a good time.
Right.
This is cute. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, we need to get them all. We need to break it up. But still, though, what that does to the team too is like. Even getting the old guys hype, the older guys, the guys who play, it brought a lot of team camaraderie, and it also like brought a lot of team respect for players I'm not hanging around with. You know, it's tough to respect those D linemen,
Right,
those guys, but it's like
the dirty dogs.
the dirty
right?
dogs.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, you did that to me. Imagine what he would do to an opponent, and it was really a wonderful thing. I wish I could. I wish you all could experience it, but and that was one of a million things.
Oh man, Matt, I want to thank you for sharing that.
Oh,
That
dude,
that was classic.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity.
Hey, before we get into the start of the Big 12 women's basketball tournament that starts this week, Matt, let's give a shout out to our sponsor real quick.
Oh, absolutely. The Extra Medium Sports Podcast is brought to you by The Hotel Morgan. Host your guests in an elegant setting utilizing our refined meeting spaces, including 2 dedicated boardrooms and state-of-the-art conference technology. Elevate your event with delicious catering and craft cocktail service delivered by our on-site cafe and bar, Anvil and Axe.
Okay, the WVU women's basketball team will begin play in the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City at 6:30 p.m. on Friday. As the number 2 overall seed, WVU earned a double bye into the quarterfinal round. You can find that quarterfinal game on Friday on ESPN Plus. It's a Plus game.
A Plus game. You know I love my ESPN Plus.
I know you do. The Mountaineers are ranked 15th in the country in this week's AP Top 25. That is the second highest AP Top 25 ranking under head coach Mark Kellogg. They enter the tournament with a 24-6 overall record and are coming off a dominating 118-60 victory in the regular season finale over Cincinnati. So that's kind of the preview into the Big 12. On Friday, they will play. They will probably play Iowa State on Friday. Iowa State plays the winner of the Arizona State game, and then they've got to play that game, and then the winner of that game will play West Virginia on Friday. So that's kind of how that all rolls out.
Oh, I would love it if we could host one.
Now, here's the thing, though. So we talked last week.
Yeah.
We talked last week on how some of the teams, WVU was projected as a 5 seed.
Yes.
And we talked about how last week some of the teams right ahead of them were going to be losing.
Yes.
Which they did. Okay, Kentucky lost to South Carolina, and then I believe Michigan and Ohio State.
Michigan and Ohio
I think
State.
Michigan kind of beat the doors off Ohio State. I might be wrong, and maybe it was Ohio State beat Michigan State. Anyway, so we kind of thought, okay, well, these teams are going to be losing. Maybe West Virginia's going to move up a spot. They did not. So what basically happened is when you look at the latest bracketology, West Virginia remained a 5 seed. The part we didn't see was Minnesota overtaking them. So they kind of
Gotcha.
So when those teams
Okay.
started to drop like we thought they would, it was Minnesota.
Minnesota
that moved up
actually took that spot.
instead of West Virginia. Now, the interesting part about that whole story is Minnesota is coached by Dawn Plitzowite, who was the coach at WVU at one time. She coached here for one season, left, took her ball, and went to Minnesota. And that, of course, is when Mark Kellogg
Gotcha.
came into the picture for West Virginia. So now you have, not to say that it's a rivalry.
Well, I mean, it makes
Yeah,
it interesting.
but it does
makes it a tad bit personal.
Does make it interesting, a little bit personal. So now
Yeah.
you have Minnesota, which is ranked 19th in the AP Top 25. So they're 4 spots behind West Virginia. They are now projected to be that 4 seed, while West Virginia stays the 5 seed. So, Matt, I'm going to play a game.
Okay.
right.
I like games.
I'm going to make you a honorary member of the NCAA selection committee.
Okay. I like it.
I'm going to give you some basic metrics between the two schools,
Okay.
Minnesota, West Virginia, on the women's side here. without telling you which metrics belong to which school.
Okay.
Then you give me your opinion on which one is the 4 seed and hosting the regional, and which one is the 5 seed and traveling to a regional.
Okay.
Okay. Team A.
Team A.
You ready?
So I'm going to pick between the two teams.
You're going to pick
Okay.
between the two teams. You're going to give one a 4 seed and one a 5
Okay.
seed.
Got you.
Team A, their net ranking is number 8 in the country. Pretty good. The RPI ranking is 24. Their strength of schedule is 41st in the country. We good?
Yeah, we good.
Team
Okay.
B.
Team
B. Net ranking is number 18. The RPI ranking is 14. And the strength of schedule is number 25.
I'm going.
Which would you? Who's getting the 4 seed? Who's getting the 5 seed out of that?
I'm going Team A.
Team A.
And the main thing is that net ranking at 8.
Right.
I now, if you want to get in the I love the word slippery slope, but if we get into RPI, strength of schedule, it's not really in your hands at the moment.
Right.
I mean, the net ranking is
Okay.
that to me, that's my reason. I know it wasn't asked to justify it or anything, but I'm going
absolutely right.
I'm
well,
going.
I wanted your.
I'm going Team A, and to be honest with you, I'm not really even like. It's kind of obvious.
Okay. Well, Team A is Minnesota.
I don't like that at all. Can we redo the segment?
No.
Can we redo the segment?
Team A
No,
is
but
Minnesota.
Now, and can I tell you too? I also tried to guess what I thought WVU was.
Oh, okay. And you
But
thought WVU
I thought
would be
WVU was Team A. I would have never in my life had said that.
Well, see, I did the reverse psychology
think-
because when I was typing this up,
Yeah.
I was like, Matt's going to think Team A is
But
West Virginia.
what you
Yeah.
did was prove the point. What you're seeing here and what you hear and see are the same, but they're different.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, and we talk about this Minnesota, West Virginia because, we are in West
yeah,
Virginia.
of
But
course.
there are a number of situations that the committee is going to be looking at, kind of like this, for the other 4s and 5s, and then who's your 1s.
Yeah,
and 2s.
yeah.
I mean, this is a painstaking process.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
we just took 2 teams.
Yeah.
They've got 68.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. And I mean,
The 2 things when I was kind of going through this exercise, the 2 things that kind of jumped out to me. Well, number one, there are still conference tournaments to play.
yeah.
I think, in my opinion, if West Virginia makes it to the Big 12 finals, or certainly if they win the Big 12 tournament, I got to think they're going to be hosting a regional, regardless of what Minnesota does. The other thing that kind of jumped out to me, though, is WVU finished second in the Big 12 standings. Minnesota finished in a tie for 4th in the Big 10. So like if I'm Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark, that doesn't look good.
That does not look good
That
at all.
does not
So,
look-
you're
that's-
saying the
that's a-
number 4 team
From the Big 10.
from the Big Ten
is better than your
than the
number
number
2
two
team
team.
from the Big 12. That's what the NCAA selection committee.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the bracketologists.
That's what the bracketologists
are
saying. They're
saying right
obviously
now,
not
yeah.
saying it. I mean, they're saying it by their actions here.
It's certainly a point of disrespect, I think, for the Big 12, and something kind of interesting to watch as tournament week plays out.
I agree with you 100%. And wonderful job on this segment. You 2 wonderful points.
You
here.
like the Team A, Team B?
I love
All right.
the Team A, Team B.
All right.
And I love the Minnesota and West Virginia. I actually had no idea about that connection. But let me tell you something now. Don't give us any bulletin board material at WVU. I don't care what sport it is. We'll take that and we'll make some magic happen.
Are we ready for Matt's Eye?
Are we ready for Matt's
Are we
Eye?
ready?
Is it time?
It is time for our favorite segment. We call it What Caught Matt's Eye.
Matt's Eye. Every week, you notice I say I'm not going to sing and I sing.
But you got to get it out there. Go ahead.
So you'll never. The thing with Matt's Eye, there's no stone that's unturned. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter where.
You spare no expense, right?
I spare no expense. We're gonna go to Billings, Montana.
Oh boy, here we
Billings, Montana high school state wrestling tournament. A gentleman, dare I say, superstar by the name of Blaze Kronk. He's a senior at Columbia Falls, and he wrestles at 165 pounds. Now,
This is the Montana High School.
this is the Montana High School
Okay.
State Championship, and this is Blaze Kronk, and he's wrestling the 165 pounds from Columbia Falls, Montana. So He clinched the 2026 state title for his weight class. That's awesome.
Okay.
But what caught Matt's eye?
What caught Matt's
Blaze
eye?
then goes on to propose to his girlfriend of 2 years and says yes. Now,
Nice.
This
is a high school kid.
This is a high school
Okay,
kid now.
right.
Marrying young. We're not going to get in here.
Did he do it right after
He
the match?
did it right after, but let me
So
tell
his
you,
hair's all messed up.
his hair's
right?
all
He's
messed
got-
up,
yeah,
and
he's-
I even had to make a log into Instagram so I could watch it, and it
Okay.
truly happened. But listen to what he says. This is why it caught Matt's eye. This is why it's a superstar. Not only is he a state champion, but he also turns into a fiance, right?
Right.
But the lady he proposed to, her father is the coach of the wrestling team.
Oh, okay.
So like no pressure.
So he's dating the coach's daughter.
He's dating the coach's
Well,
daughter.
That's why, yeah.
In
Right. Okay, I got you.
In addition to, can you imagine
Did the coach jump in there and try to break it
No,
up?
he said it was approved ahead of time.
Right. Okay.
But
okay.
if you take it, the coach did make a joke. If he lost,
yeah, you
I
gotta
might
win.
have been
right.
But what about Blaze's the night before? Because he know he's got this in his head. He
Sure.
said, "I got it in my head.
Well, he's
I'm
talking
gonna
about pressure,
propose."
right?
Talk about pressure, bro. I have to win this thing. You can't. Could you imagine their kids 20 years from now? How did Daddy propose? Oh, after he lost.
Right.
Because he's a loser.
Well, also your name is Blaze.
Your name Blaze.
Yeah, you got it right.
I thought his name was Blaze Gronk at first. I was like, this might be the best name I've ever seen. But
That
Blaze
sounds like
Gronk.
a name that you would put on for like an imaginary character on Madden or something.
Yeah, Blaze Gronk.
Right,
I was thinking Gronkowski's
Yeah.
kid, something like that. But what an amazing story. So he won it. He told the media if he won this, it was planned. So he won the state championship.
Gets up. Has his
Literally
hand-
seconds
has
later,
his hand
has his
raised,
hands up,
right.
proposes. She says yes, and it's the coach's daughter.
Right. Wow.
I mean, what the guy's peaked, man.
Yeah.
What a day.
Where do you go from there? Right.
And the last thing I wanted to bring up with what caught Matt's eye,
I can't believe you went all the way out to Montana.
Oh yeah, we went
for
to.
that.
There's no stones unturned. If you look up proposals after games, big games, there's also denying proposals where they say no. That's just a different thing, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah, would not.
But
yeah.
that's
Well, it's funny for us.
It's
Not
funny
funny
for
for
us.
the guy,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
funny for the
Well,
guy,
yeah. But my favorite, the only one that I know that can top this, if it even tops it, that's subjective, is Boise State.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
they
that
just won the bowl. Yeah.
and against Oklahoma,
Festival,
which
yeah.
was unheard of at that
Right.
time, possibly one of the biggest upsets. But that's our Matt's on.
Matt, good job today, my
Hey, I
friend.
appreciate. Thanks for the opportunity.
Did you have some fun
man.
today? We had some fun today.
I
right?
had some fun, and every day having the opportunity to be to work with you gentlemen is a blessing.
That is all the time we have for today. We thank you for listening in. We want to thank Morgantown High girls basketball coach John Folks for joining us earlier today, and we want to wish the Mohegans good luck in the regional and the upcoming state tournaments in Charleston. We also had Michael Griffith with us earlier in studio. We will see you next week. Matt, take us home.
It'll be an honor. Thanks for joining us today on the Extra Medium Sports Podcast, which is brought to you by the Hotel Morgan. Select a wedding venue where you can host your perfect ceremony and grand reception in one of our 2 magnificent ballrooms. From the restored historic architecture to the stylish, comfortable guest rooms for your party, Hotel Morgan provides an environment where every guest feels cared for in the heart of beautiful downtown Morgantown. Now booking 2026 dates in our brand new 8th floor ballroom. Hey, and lastly, this is the Extra Medium Podcast, baby. You know, where the couches are safe, but the takes are on fire. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.